This is a new thing for me. I have never done anything like this before, and I have no idea if I'm in frame because I cannot see anything. Hey y'all, this is Addie doing a voiceover because in case you couldn't tell, during filming this video, I was super nervous talking because this is new, as I've stated before, and I stopped talking after a little while because my nerves were shot. So I'm here now doing a voiceover for what was supposed to be my first video. It's more so an introduction because I felt the need to do that because I think you should know why I'm here, what to expect from this channel, and who I am. Just some basic things. I'm not going to ramble about myself for hours on end because this isn't about me, it's about y'all and me serving y'all, because that's what I'm called to do as a Christian, as a follower of Jesus Christ. And partly why I started this channel, I've always wanted to do this because I love art. I've done art since I could hold a crayon in my hand. But I have recently wanted to get into more art channels because I only followed about 4. And so I looked at a few. I enjoyed the way that the artists were going about and talking and their energy until they would drop a cuss word, and it's just, I'm not cool with that. And so it's part of the reason why I'm here, kind of stating this as part of my mission. But starting this channel is also a next step in my platform building as also a writer. I love to write. I love writing stories. I've loved stories and books since I can remember, and it's just part of who I am. As well as being an artist, I've always been the more creative kid. I've never been athletic. I'm not strong in hardly any way. But drawing is fun, and it doesn't have to be perfect. Because if there can be some famous artist who just throws paint onto a floor, I think my art's okay. But I want to write stories and art that shows light and darkness, because there are so many stories that just weigh down and the morals are all jacked up and not right. And then art that just kind of makes my skin crawl. Not that there isn't skill, but just what it's depicting. The question is why? Why do we need stories with light in the darkness? What does that show? Well, it shows that there is hope and light in this dark world, because Jesus is coming back one day, and he's gonna make things new. And that's why, as Christians, we're called to share the gospel, to plant the seeds, because we don't make people Christians. We share the gospel with them and plant the seeds, and God makes the seeds grow, because he's amazing, y'all. And he paints the sky every morning and every night. He's designed the whole world, and he's writing your story in your life. Everything has a purpose. He's the master painter. He's the master storyteller. He's the master of everything. And it's just so incredible to know that we are loved and known by a God who is gracious and merciful and kind. He will never forsake us, even when you think he has. He hasn't. He's given us gifts to serve others and to bless them with joy and smiles. It doesn't have to be big things. It doesn't have to be world-changing things. It can be just as small as a smile. Because I'd say all the time, if I was a flower, I would be a daffodil in the ditch. Because how many times have you driven up the road and had a terrible day, but you see those bright yellow flowers in the ditch during the spring, and it just makes you smile and warm on the inside? At least it does for me. It may not be for everyone, but that's what I think I would be. I'm not here to say I'm perfect because I'm far from it. Jesus was the only perfect person ever, and my art's not going to be perfect ever. I'm always going to be learning and growing and improving, just like you can if you were an artist or a writer or a musician or anything that requires practice. No one is ever going to be perfect. You're always going to want to get better. It's okay if something doesn't turn out right. You just have to look on the bright side and figure out, what can I do to fix this? What can I do to improvise? At least that's what I do all the time. Paint pens come in handy along with many layers of gel pen. But I want to know how I can serve you. As I'm new to this is very much another learning curve for me as a young person, but I don't know how to serve you quite yet. I would love to know if you would tell me in the comments. But for now, I'm gonna just keep on trying to bless you and bring a smile to your face and content that you don't have to worry about watching, that there's gonna be something bad in it, because I don't want to do that ever, because that's just something that really bothers me whenever it's just not good. I don't want to sit there and listen to something that just is bad. But besides all of that, I'm sure you're wondering, what in the world am I even going to be posting about? Well, obviously, from what you can see here, it's going to be an art channel, from the title to everything. But I draw a lot of girls because that's just what I've always drawn, because I'm a girl. Like, it makes sense. I'm trying to get better at drawing guys, because there are many attempts where they're terrible, and it's kind of sad. But I also love to draw frogs and a couple of animals, and I love using different mediums and mixing it up here and every once in a while. I use a lot of gouache now, whereas I used to use a lot more of alcohol markers. I draw kind of Little Women inspired, like that kind of clothing style, dresses and outfits, and just cozy things. That's just that warm, bright happiness inside of you. I don't want to just only show you the art that turns out okay, because half of it doesn't. I want you to know that you're not alone when your art looks a little possessed. And so we're gonna go through this together and go through all the many attempts that it takes to make an illustration or a finished character design, and drawing different things from books that we love and enjoy, or things that just make us happy. And doing this voiceover, I'm realizing how long I'm gonna have to actually talk. I still have about 9 minutes, 10 to go, and that's kind of scary, but at the same time, I know I'm still learning, and this is definitely gonna be the furthest thing from perfect or good that you've ever seen, because it's never gonna be perfect. It's always gonna be chaotic, because that's just how my mind is and how my life is sometimes. But it's a fun chaotic, even when things are hard, because we all go through hard things. There's always gonna be hardships in life, and if we didn't have hardships in our life, we wouldn't learn, we wouldn't become better people, we wouldn't have true faith. We would just be kind of happy-go-lucky and never think anything could go wrong, when in reality, a lot of things go wrong. My daddy always likes to say, you can't control the situation, but you can control how you react to it. And I think that is a really good thing to say. He's full of amazing advice, because he is an amazing father, and I am highly grateful for him and my mama. Now, unless something changes, most of my videos aren't going to be like this, talking and doing voiceovers, because I personally enjoy the live talking and drawing and reacting to the mess that happens. But for now, until my nerves go away and I figure out how to draw at the same time as talking, we might have a couple of voiceovers and more simple drawings for videos, until I learn how to do what I want to. I love to look at the world around me and find the wonder in everything. I'm more of an stubbornly optimistic person. I don't like to look on the side of things where it's more realistic all the time, because I prefer to look on the bright side, because that's just who I am. I want to encourage constantly others around me. If I go to a football game, basketball game, I'm constantly yelling for the team, no matter if we're losing or winning, because if they do something and it's amazing, I want them to know that. I want them to know that it was good. And it brings a smile to people's faces when you encourage them and genuinely care about their accomplishments. Which is why I want to help build a community here where we can build each other up and just pray and be happy and bless each other and be able to be a light in the world that is so dark nowadays. Because without community, I don't think I would still be writing how I am today. I would have probably given up years ago. And my art, I probably would not be where I am with it without people seeing it and encouraging me and congratulating me on how I have grown. And I want to do the same for all of you. I want to hear your accomplishments, what you're working on, and how it's going, and how I can pray for you. I want to know and just be able to send you a virtual hug, because it's the internet. You can't get any better than that, because it's millions of miles away from everyone. It's good for us hermits and introverts. I know I'm more introverted now than I was when I was little, because I used to could make friends with anyone, but now it's kind of harder. Maybe it's because I've gotten older, but I still want to bring a smile to people's face. I'm still that bright, happy person constantly, because that makes other people happy. That blesses other people. I've been told countless times, whether it be at church or anywhere, and just seeing those smiles on people's faces blesses me in return, and it lets me know that I'm doing something right. Because, goodness, I am terrified of making mistakes. I don't like messing up. I'm sure no one does. So that's why you're not gonna just see the perfect art, no matter how much I want to show you that, because no one's perfect. It's just who we are, which is part of the reason why we need a community to build us up, to tell us it's not as bad as you're thinking. Because everything, if you look back to the first thing you drew or wrote or sang, you're gonna see improvement when you look at something you did just yesterday. Looking back at something and knowing you want to get better, you're looking ahead to improve. You're never happy with where you are because you want to improve, you want to get better. But you have to know that that's going to take time. I've kept sketchbooks, official sketchbooks, since 2020, and I've been trying to write more consistently. Draw more consistently. Oh goodness. We're off to a great start. I cannot speak. That's going to be a common theme here. But I've kept sketchbooks since 2020 and tried to draw consistently so I could get better. And there we go, I can say it now. And it may be because I'm recording this later in the day and I'm kind of tired that I don't have as much energy as I probably will in videos to come. And I'm hoping that I can figure out how to make things more consistent and better. Back to that improvement thing, we're always wanting to get better and better, because that's just, we want to be the biggest and best at everything. But there's always going to be someone better than us, but we can also help someone who's not as good get good. And it's just kind of something that's just there. We're always getting better. We're always wanting to be someone else when we just need to step back and be us and focus on the things above, to focus on God and furthering the kingdom and just encouraging your fellow believers and people around you, because we want to be the light of the world. And if you are living that way, people are going to notice it. They're going to see that there's something different. And that's just something that is so incredible to me to know. I cannot wait to meet every single one of you and to know what you're working on, being able to encourage you. I cannot wait to see your amazing gifts, whether it be in art, music, writing. I cannot wait to hear your progress and your achievements, no matter how small they may be, because even if it's a small win, it's still a win. Even if you're barely scraping by on the scoreboard, it's still a win. It may not be where you want it now, but with time and practice and hard work, because anything worth doing is hard, you will get better, and it's gonna be amazing no matter what. We have to look at the world through an optimistic lens, because otherwise we'll get dragged down by all the wrong in the world, all of the hurt and all of the imperfections, because it's only going to be perfect whenever Jesus comes back and the earth is made new. But until then, I cannot wait to see what you all come up with, and just to see a community grow. And I hope and I pray that this will be a safe place for no matter what age you are, that this can be somewhere where you can watch and it'll be encouraging and helpful and entertaining, and you don't have to worry about it. I cannot wait to meet every single one of you. So until next week, y'all, bye.